Hey y'all, welcome to My Mysteries, the channel that brings you interdimensional content, which means that the readings are from a broad and expansive point of view as they are channeled through vast dimensions of space and time, and therefore should resonate with you guys whenever you come across them. I'm going to pull some cards and we'll see what's up. Way. Mm. I've said this term before. I'm gonna say it again because I think some of you are having a hard time calibrating what I'm about to say. So that's why it keeps showing up again and again and again in the readings. It's not that I'm trying to be redundant or repeat stuff, but it keeps coming up because you may be having problems with it. So it's like you may still need more help with the calibration. And what I, what you're having problems with is that you're entering a new phase in your life. Okay? You're entering a new phase. And you're supported. You're entering a new timeline completely. You're entering a new timeline. And you're supported within that. You're ready. Your mind is capable of the calibration of different types of information, different belief systems. It's okay to let go the other belief systems that held you together up until right now. You can let those go. You're not gonna need them. It's okay. You don't need them where you're going. You don't need them. Where am I going, Zanne? Into a space where you're able to cultivate the kind of life that you always wanted, but over the years you had begun to think that there's no ways that you can connect yourself to that life. You may have had certain belief systems that tell you that that life is only for certain people, or you're too late, you should have done more when you were younger, or you picked the wrong thing, you made the wrong decision. There's certain thought patterns within you that made you think that the breadcrumbing in your life that was happening was okay. And I'm not talking just about the people, I'm even talking about the way in which you were responding to the universe. Like, you were not satisfied with what you were, the options, you were not satisfied with the options in front of you. But then you did the work because, you know, content like this said to you, do some inner work and you'll notice how more options will open up. You did that, and now more options are opening up, but now you're stepping back, you're backpedaling on yourself, which I think is natural. It reminds me, someone actually mentioned Lucy in the comment section. I can't remember relating to what, but if you remember with Lucy, when she was asking the scientists to put all of the blue stuff into her system, she said that she wants them to put all of it because her current cells and atoms are fighting for their current state of being. They feel this as an invasion, even though it would be an upgrade of the system, even though it would create an awakening of body, soul, consciousness, all of it. But the current state of cells and atoms, because they will no longer be how they are, it means an end to how they are, regardless of the fact that it is an upgrade for them. But the fact that it would be an end to how they've been functioning up until right now, that makes them, it makes them feel like, no, this is an invasion and the cells in her body must try and fix it. So if they were putting in the blue stuff little by little, her cells that are already in her body would win. It would act like an immune system, which sounds weird, I know, but yeah, they would act like an immune system and try and treat the blue stuff as an infection and try and hide it and try and fight it. Sorry. And try and fight it. So she was like, put all of it in. That way, we overrun the old system. And that's kind of what's happened with you. I feel like your spiritual council got together and they were like, bump it. Like, blow their mind. Like, so that feeling where you're feeling kind of like you're in between worlds, in between dimensions, you feel confused, you feel like you're not being grounded enough, you feel as if like you feel like you're all over the place. That I want to say that is intentional by your guides, because in the meantime, while you're feeling like that, and maybe resting more often, maybe using your weekend to like even take naps during the day sometimes and whatnot, and just like do less physically and like uh try and relax your mind. But if something like gym, which is a physical action, helps you relax your mind, you're doing that. You'll notice that you're doing things that relax you. If working in the garden relaxes you, that's what you're doing. If cooking relaxes you, that's what you're doing. If cooking stresses you, you don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. You're choosing really simple meals, like, yeah. Probably fresher, actually, because you're choosing meals that don't need much preparation, which means they're whole foods. So like, quick salad and whatnot, boil some eggs, grill some chicken, like, yeah, support the system. Because what's happening is that you are calibrating new belief systems, new ways of thinking. Yeah, it's giving when you take psilocybin, and I think I've told you guys this, but psilocybin does this thing with your neurons, with like your neural pathways, where it disconnects from a certain neural pathway and connects itself to a new neural pathway. Psilocybin helps your neurons do that. So a neural pathway is like a thought pattern. When something happens, you jump to the same conclusion every time, right? Um, Due to something obviously happening in the past where that happened, normally some traumatic shit, and now because of that, you have this neural pathway that says if this happens, this is what's happening. It already builds up this whole story when a certain thing happens, but obviously sometimes that's not the case. And psilocybin does this thing where it disconnects from that neural pathway and connects to another neural pathway, which gives you the opportunity to react differently towards certain things, to have different thought patterns surrounding certain situations. And that's what seems to be happening here, with or without the psilocybin. That's what's happening here. Your neurons have found new pathways. Is this connecting to the whole Mpundulu um video? I think so. Yeah. And yeah, it's quite an experience. It's different. It feels different. Yeah, there's this card here. It says the sacrifice, and it's giving the letting go of your, I want to say your lower self. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I mean, that's what it's called esoterically. It's the version of us that had the limited like belief systems, the ones that like were not allowing us a way out, the ones that were making us manifest realities where if we can just get a little bit, if we can just get a foot in the door, like no, now you've got belief systems that have you preparing to be in the room, not just a foot in the door, like be in the room, not because oh poor you should be in the room. No, you're doing the work, you've been sharpening your skills, you've been practicing whatever it is that you're good at, that gets you into that room that you want to be in, that gets you into that interview that you want to be in, that gets you that investment that you want, that gets you that intimacy or that emotional connection that you want. And how would you prepare for that, for emotional connections and for intimacy? Because it's like, wait, you went from like skills to like, yeah, but also the emotional stuff. You you would need to prepare, you would need to have a sense of self, you would need to be aware of yourself. So in other words, have, love yourself before getting into an emotional relationship where there's a lot of intertwining of energies. And the prep before that, the preparation before that would allow you to still be able to be you while having someone pour into you and also have you pouring into someone, like, to not disappear. And you would do that by also, yeah, having a sense of confidence, um, in yourself, in who you are, in what you bring into a relationship in terms of energetically. Do you bring conflict? Do you bring drama? Do you bring karmic cycles that are about to create a dark night of the soul for you and the other person? Or do you bring the reconciliation of karmic cycles? Do you bring the elevation of an inner world, that this relationship is a manifestation of that inner world, which would mean the relationship is a manifestation or a reflection of your relationship with your higher self, with the universe at large. Um, yeah. Also, it's okay if you just keep feeling the need to be alone a little bit during this time. It's not a what do you call it? It's not an isolation period. It's just that you calibrate better when you're alone because it's just less interference. I mean, obviously, some of you have families, you live with them, whether it's siblings or your spouses and your children. And yeah, you will find yourselves making time for yourself. It can be one day a week, it can be 30 minutes in a day, but you're making time to just catch up with yourself for the day and have that conversation with yourself to be like, we're okay. Yes, everything is changing, and I don't really understand, and I can't really see the full picture right now, but your connection to your guides, you must feel or hear or perceive that communication that tells you that everything is okay. Everything is okay. What you're feeling in your body is just newness. It's just newness. You were so convinced that how you felt within yourself before was the norm. Meanwhile, you're fighting for your life every day. And you've been doing it for so long that you think it's normal to be in constant survival mode, to have your nervous system constantly like looking over its shoulder and kind of like hyper, yeah, like almost a hyper awareness. And I don't mean that in a spiritual way, like always wondering, what do people think about me? Am I doing the right thing? Do they think I'm a nice person? I want to stand up for myself, but at the same time I don't want them to think I'm a douche. Like all of this, like, you know, and that how that feels in your body, that stress on your nervous system, that spiking of cortisol hormone like all the time, you thought that was normal because you felt it for such a long time. You thought that was normal. And now you have this thing where you maybe want to take a nap on a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday afternoon, and you're like, oh no, I must not be feeling well. Not understanding that you've come to a point where your nervous system feels safe to take a nap, like during the day. That's what that is. It's not, yes, for some people, maybe it's because you're just flat out exhausted, but in relation to this reading and those who resonate with it, it's your nervous system healing. You thought it was just your consciousness that had to heal from the trauma and the childhood stuff and the adolescent stuff and the current stuff that you were going through, not understanding that your body is also part of the system that takes in your everyday experiences. It's not just your mind state. It's not just your state of mind. It's not just your state of consciousness. It's your body too. And I know you guys know that. Like when you stress, it's not just a mental health thing. It's not just a mental health thing that seeps into your body. That's the weird stomach aches when you talk to the person that you know has no respect for you or has no love for you, but they pretend with you. It's the eczema that flares up when that friend that you know is not really your friend calls you and you want to pick up because you don't want her to think you're a douche, but she okay being a douche to you. So, yeah, you're currently in a state where you've been doing this work to be clearing out these people, right? To be standing up for yourself in certain situations. And that has created a clearing in energy, a clearing of certain energy. And it's created space for your body to now begin to repair. And again, you'll find yourself rearranging certain things. There's certain habits you took up in the past because you were dealing with certain stresses. But now that you are repairing certain parts of yourself that were affected by those stresses, there's things you don't need to be doing anymore. And there's new habits that you're going to pick up. The habits of people who have a stable nervous system. And those habits do look quite different to other people's habits. And I'm telling you why. again, a lot of you, I guess, were under the impression that embodiment is just a consciousness thing. It's just some fairy tale, like with cloud thing. And it's like, I'm embodied. It's like, no, very real. At least when you ground it into this reality, it becomes very real. And to ground something in this reality, you ground it within your body. And then the reality reacts to you as someone who is what they say they are, or who they say they are. You can say, I'm a panther, I'm a panther. In reality, ain't gonna do shit. But if you turned into a panther, the reality is gonna do something about it. Cause like, you're a panther. Like, yeah, you're a panther. Yeah. Allow this phase to happen, this phase that's happening right now. Let's call it the calibration phase. Allow this phase to happen. And yeah, what's coming after that is a reality that caters to who you are now. And I think you're also going to have more understanding of how the reality works in relation to you. How before, like I said, you had programmed yourself, or rather, in collaboration with the social construct, you had programmed yourself into yourself feeling less than, and so expecting less from everything around you, including the universe, including your guides and whatnot. That's why in the beginning you were acting to your guides like, hey, I'll do anything, just help, and not realizing they were like, shit, yeah, this world has done a number on her. Is she begging? Your guys never wanted you to beg. Your ancestors never wanted you to beg them. No entity wants you to beg it. No. All of these forms that I've mentioned want you to come with them heart full, chest full of self-awareness, and hungry for more knowledge, hungry for what else is out there, what else am I capable of, what else can I connect to, how do I do this, teach me, some curiosity even. Ooh, what about that? I heard, yeah. Teach me. Not the oh Lord, save me, fuck my life, save me, Jesus. Nah, ain't nobody, nah. But still, shame, they catered to that aspect of you, trying to get you to a point where it's like, girl, come on, boy, come here. Put your chin up, straighten your back, god damn. And yo, thank goodness, guys, thank goodness for our guides and the entities we're connected to, because imagine to live on your knees your whole life. No, no. Mm. It's a no for me, and it's apparently a no for you too. So then say yes then to this aspect of yourself. Yes, it feels different. It's supposed to. Say yes to more. All right, that's what I have for you guys. If the reading resonated, please like, share, and subscribe. If you want to book a personal reading or a mentorship session, all that information is in the description box. Have a great Sunday, y'all.